All right, y'all, we're back. Been a minute. I mean, I always feel so dumb saying that. Obviously, this episode will come out the very next day, but I've been busy for like the last couple of days. I only got to do the first episode. The first time I did it, I think I mentioned this on the video. It was in the enhanced version, and I didn't want that. Then I had to do this one. And I honestly hemmed and hawed about doing it again because I had the subtitles on that blocked part of the screen. But I think we're gonna call it good with what we've got. And we're in the bookshop. Right,
Alexander is carrying a book from the bargain table in the bookshop.
Right. We picked up the boring book. Let's see.
These shelves hold a collection of oddly titled guidebooks. Alexander notices such books as How to Become King with Little or No Rupees Down, Finding the Right Girl with the Right Dowry, and Why Good Princesses Like Bad Wizards.
What? They like a bad wizard. Well, I don't know if Cassima knows this, but I'm a bit of a bad wizard myself. And, same goes to all of you princesses out there.
Volumes of poetry are on display on this bookshelf.
I like poetry.
Thinking of Cassima, Alexander decides to leaf through one of the volumes of love poetry. He reads, Thy hair, thy lips, thy beauteous face, and all thy studied female grace have won for thee anon a place within this broken breast. Not bad. And another. Upon the shore the lilies bend, untouched by worldly care, where shadow they her earthly bed, oh, that she were not there. Yikes. And another. What was it when I looked at you? What power has chained me through and binds my heart with links so tight I cannot live without the sight of you?
Oh.
What nameless thing has captured me and made me powerless to flee? What thing is it without a name that brings my mind e'er back the same to thee? The name of love cannot apply. Its commonness does not decry the haunted, hunted, painful cry that my heart makes for you, that e'er my soul eternal makes for you.
Damn.
A little close to home, that one.
Alexander returns the love poem book to the shelf.
I feel you, buddy. I feel you. Oh, what's that?
A page has fallen from the poem book and now lies on the floor. Alexander picks up the fallen page. It's the love poem he particularly liked. It must have fallen out of the poetry book.
I see that old volume has lost another page. You may keep it if you like, sir. I have glued the stubborn thing back in place 2 times already.
I do rather like it. Thank you, merchant.
Man, that old merchant's awesome. No, that poetry was awesome. Dang.
There's a book entitled The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages on the small table in the reading area. It appears that some regular customer likes that book. Alexander feels his pockets carefully to make sure he hasn't lost anything.
Alex.
Alexander rests his feet for a moment. Alexander picks up and leafs idly through a book called The Changing Role of Court Entertainers Through the Ages. Well, that was refreshing.
Alright, well, that was refreshing. Let's see here.
Alexander has a love poem from a book in the bookshop.
Alright, is there anything else we can ask of Mr. Ali?
How fare you, merchant?
Business could be better. Too many people are losing interest in reading these days. It is a sign of the times.
Yeah, I'm afraid that that rings true today. Well, maybe that's everything we can do here. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Because, like, midway through the poetry, I just had this horrible sinking feeling, for whatever reason, that I didn't start the recording. So if I have started the recording, I'm going to be very happy. But if I haven't started the recording, I'm going to have to go back and play this. Or I'd have to test it right now. And that's just, that's not a fun time. So I'm just going to hope I did, and trust that I did.
Good day!
Oh, good day. Whoa, what on earth is all this stuff?
The pawn shop is a dimly lit place with a slightly musty smell. Curiosities litter every corner and every shelf. For sale are articles that range from the bizarre to the commonplace, from the priceless to the practical.
Okay.
A helmet, probably belonging to the headless armor also in the shop, has found its way to a separate part of the counter. An old suit of armor stands in the pawn shop. It looks like a vigilant guard against thieves and carpet salesmen, even though it is headless.
Carpet salesman.
The land of the Green Isles must have at least one inhabitant with interest in the mystical, for a crystal ball has been traded in along with the more common household goods. Towering mightily over the other pawn shop curiosities, the stuffed bear makes an ostentatious display.
I want to see these, like, wings back here. What are those?
A strange-looking winged device occupies one corner of the room. It is frail with disuse. Alexander finds it intriguing. Perhaps he thinks it was once used in a local sporting event, in which enthusiasts jumped from cliffs, glided on air currents, and then attempted to land, frequently crunching a bone or two in the process.
Oh.
Alexander shudders at the thought and decides to stick to dragon slaying.
Well, we slayed that dragon. Yes, we did.
The pawn shop owner is a mysterious fellow. His face is old and inscrutable, and there's a glint of sheer iron in his gaze. Still, Alexander senses this is someone he can trust.
I don't know how you get all that. Let's go talk to him. See if that description holds up.
Good day, merchant. What can you tell me about the land of the Green Isles?
I can tell you she is in a dark time. Without the ferry, communication between the islands has ground to a halt, and so nearly has my business. Why the long ages of peace have ended, and why the crown has not done something about it is beyond me. But then, I am a shopkeeper, not a politician, and can only hope for better days.
Amen to that. Let's see, is there anything else we can talk about?
How bide you, good merchant?
Quite well, though a purchase would not hurt me any.
Okay.
Alexander takes a closer look at the items on the counter.
I see you have noticed my mechanical nightingale. She is made of plain tin, but she sings the sweetest song you can imagine, barely distinguishable from the real thing. The flute is only made of plain wood, but its notes are fine and true. Ah, yes, the painter's brush. It was well used by one of the island's best painters. There's a lot of creativity in that brush, and its bristles are still in good condition. Have you an interest in tinder boxes? This one is only slightly battered. It holds a good supply of flint, a sturdy striking pad, and even a candle in case you find yourself with naught else to hold the flame.
I feel like we are going to have to make use of each of these items.
I'm interested in that flute on the counter.
What do you desire to give me in trade? The items on the front counter are all of equally slight value, worth only a copper or two. They are handy items nonetheless.
Ooh, a copper or two. We happen to have a copper coin, if I'm not mistaken.
Alexander is carrying a copper coin of Devontree.
Yep.
Alexander rubs his fingers over the indentation of King Graham's face on the copper coin and thinks fondly of home.
I have this copper coin. Is it of any value to you at all?
Most interesting. I have never seen a Daventry coin before, but it is copper genuine enough. I might even find a buyer who is interested in foreign currency. The items on the front counter are the only things in the store that I can let go for the price of 1 copper. You may make your choice from there.
Alexander looks at the items on the counter to make his selection.
I guess we'll go with the flute.
I'll take the flute.
Very well. Your coin is well spent. Remember, this is a pawn shop. I am always willing to take back my own goods in trade.
I'll remember. Thank you.
Right, and that's one of the like big mechanics is that we use an item, then we can come back, trade that item for another one, get that, and then get that item to use it where it's needed, etc., etc., etc. But we also have our ring, and maybe we can get something for our ring.
Can you tell me, merchant, what the value of this ring might be?
By the sands of the sea, what a beauty! What fine gold and masterful artistry! This ring is quite valuable, sir. I would not feel right taking it in trade. None of the items on display in my humble store are even close to the value of this ring.
Truly? Well, it would be hard to part with it anyway, I suppose.
Let's see.
Alexander has a love poem.
That's a love poem.
The pawn shop owner doesn't look like a man to be tussled with. The curiosities business is just dangerous enough to require one to develop one's boxing skills. The back wall of the shop holds various bottles and potions. For example, a bottle labeled Owl Courage Potion for spineless owls.
Spineless Cedric. Alright. Let's head on out of here. I think Ali had mentioned,
Old lamps for new!
Oh, hush up. Ali had mentioned, something over this way. Ooh, hello.
You lazy thing! Get back to work and stay away from those roses! I've told told you 1,000,000 times. Those flowers are too sweet for the likes of you. You've still got to do the breakfast dishes, make lunch, and clean the stables yet this morning. And get your veil back on. No one wants to look at your face.
Yes, stepmother.
What a bitch! Can't be having that.
The house is made of stucco in an architectural style native to the island. It is apparently quite old since climbing vines embrace its exterior. Red roses beautifully cover the top of the house's fence and gate arbor.
I hate that stuff. That's some bull is what that is. Oh, hello.
Hey, stranger, come join me. The water is wonderful, and I can show you the way to the next island.
You can?
Good day. I'm Alexander. What are you doing in the sea?
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm swimming. I mean, come join me. The water's wonderful. I can show you the way to the next island. Come on, jump in. A little water won't hurt you.
I think we'll make a little save.
Considering the poor condition of the shore, it looks like the easiest way to get into the water is just to jump off the pier. The powerful currents grab Alexander. Struggle as he might, he feels himself being pulled out to sea.
Not a very good swimmer, are you?
Help me!
Sorry, I think not.
Son of a bitch.
As his head submerges for the third time, Alexander finds himself pondering the wisdom of going out on a limb for a stranger.
Tickets. Oh. Next.
Alexander couldn't handle those currents. That boy must be an unbelievably strong swimmer.
Or he's a friggin' liar, is what he is. Alright.
Come join me, if you're brave enough.
Screw you.
What are you waiting for? I said I'd show you how to get to the next island, didn't I?
Oh, his eyes glinted. Ain't gonna happen, kid.
That's strange. The young boy in the water just disappeared. Oh well, perhaps he just dove under the water.
Oh yeah, sure. He just dove under the water. Yeah, I believe that.
A worn wooden vessel has been dry docked on a jetty. The boat is in sad shape. A hole in the hull and the condition of its boards make it obvious that the vessel is no longer seaworthy.
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh.
Excuse me. My name is Alexander. The owner of the bookshop in the village told me you might be able to help me. I hear you used to run this ferry for the islands. I'd like to talk to you if you have a moment.
You say old Allie sent you? I can't see why. The ferry's not running, you know.
I understand. I'd just like to talk to you about the islands if you don't mind.
Well, I guess it'd be all right if Allie sent you. Well, don't just stand there. Come on inside.
Well, this is nice.
What is it you wanted to talk about, young man?
I'm a visitor to these islands. I'd like to learn what I can about the area.
So you said outside. What is it you want to know?
Well, for one thing, why has the island's only ferry been dry docked?
Huh. It just ain't safe to sail these days. What with the islands feuding and all. Wazir Al-Hazred ordered the ferry closed till things settled down. Me, I don't think she'll ever see water again.
But why are the islands feuding?
You got me. Something about stolen property or some such thing. 'Tis a real shame. Things used to be so friendly.
Then this unrest is recent.
A few years is all, but it's been long enough.
Perhaps if the ferry were repaired.
This old thing? This ferry's been out of water so long she's no longer even seaworthy. Her boards have dry rot. She'd fall apart at the first taste of seawater.
But there must be some way to get off this island.
There's only one other way to travel that I know of. A magic map. The owner of the pawn shop can tell you more about that than I can, Alexander.
Okay.
Alexander is sitting inside the ferry's cabin. The place displays the neatness of a seaman and the sparseness of a bachelor. There are few frills and comforts in the rough wooden environment, but the sunlight shines cheerily on the oaken beams, and the portholes admit a pleasant breeze.
Seaman.
The ferryman's bunk looks hard and uncomfortable. No wonder he can be so cranky.
He doesn't seem terribly cranky to me.
The ferryman is a disgruntled-looking man who is probably a lot younger than he appears. Despite his tired air, he watches Alexander patiently.
Tell me more about the ferry.
I remember when I used to ferry Queen Ilaria and Princess Cassima themselves. There was no thought of danger back then. They used to go visiting to care for the needy and to keep up the friendly relations between the islands. I remember their last trip. Things had started getting nasty by then, and when they came back aboard, I gathered that the Queen and the Princess had been received a bit coldly. Princess Cassima was such a pretty thing, and she was terribly upset. But who could be spreading these lies, she asked the Queen, but the Queen had no answer.
Spreading lies.
What do you do now that the ferry no longer operates?
Me? I'm out of a job. The job my ancestors have held for generations. I'm the only one trained to avoid the reef and the rocks. But that knowledge does me no good now.
Is there no other boat on the island? One that might be more seaworthy?
Boats don't last long on these shoals, as you may have found out if you got here by ship. You can be quite sure that this old ferry is, or was, the only craft on the island.
Well, you would think that there would be more ships, but, you know, got a rough shore to navigate. I can kind of understand that.
Tell me more about Princess Cassima.
Ah, such a beautiful child, and so pure of heart. Why, a contrary thought has never crossed her mind. Her mother was the same. The king and queen, they served the islands, not the other way around, always thinking about the people. Ah, they are sorely missed.
Well, now we know we gotta save her.
What else can you tell me about the land?
Let's see. The Isle of Wonder's a lovely spot. A bit crazy, mind you. Gotta have a good sense of humor to enjoy a tour there.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The Isle of the Beast is pretty, but unfortunately, you can't get very far onto the island.
Why not?
What else can you tell me about the land?
The inhabitants of the Isle of the Sacred Mountain are the most gorgeous creatures you'll ever see. If you ever get to see them, that is.
Okay.
What else can you tell me about the land?
The Castle of the Crown sure is a beauty. She's the finest palace ever built, I'll warrant.
What else can you tell me about the land?
Anything else?
Some say that the land of the Green Isles is near the edge of the world, and that the deadly currents are a result of a magnetism that sucks life from this world to the next. Of course, that's just silly talk.
I don't know. We saw that death sequence. I'm not so sure about that.
What else can you tell me about the land?
Let's see. The Isle of Wonder's a lovely spot. A bit crazy, mind you. Gotta have a good sense of humor to enjoy a tour there.
So, okay, he's just gonna loop around. I've been looking at this thing here.
There's a rabbit's foot on the table. It seems the ferryman is counting on a little luck.
Can I ask about it?
The rabbit's foot is long past even making a squeal.
Okay.
I see you have a rabbit's foot. Has it brought you much luck?
As you can see, my luck's been out for some time now, despite that old charm. Why don't you take it with you? Perhaps giving the darn thing away will bring me good fortune at last.
Perhaps it will at that. Thank you.
Well, let's see here.
The rabbit's foot has long, soft fur.
Okay. I guess that's probably all we're gonna get out of him, so let's get out of here.
Well, I think I'll be going now. Thanks for allowing me into your home.
Posh, not at all. It breaks the boredom, if you know what I mean.
Well, good day to you, sir. So we found out a good bit about the land of the Green Isles. We got the Isle of the Crown. We got the Isle of Wonder. He says we need a good sense of humor to go there. Isle of the Beast, which he says we can't really get onto. And the Isle of... I've already forgotten the last one. Oh, shoot. Well, anyway, he said that there's covered in beautiful creatures, but if we get to see them.
Alexander can see the peaks of another island on the horizon.
Okay. Well, you know, we're just, we're coming up to 27 and a half minutes here. So I guess we'll probably go ahead and call that for this episode. In the next one, we're going to try and get a hold of that magic map and maybe see another island. All right, I'll see you all then. Bye-bye.